up, everybody? I know I am super late to this live. Oh my God. I had a long night last night. I literally did not go to bed until around 8 a.m. this morning. I mean, that's how dedicated I am with, working on the projects and the things that I have going on behind the scenes. But nevertheless, I'm late, but I'm here. Okay. They say it's better late than never. So I want to go ahead and keep my word. I said I was going to have this conversation tonight, and this is what I am doing, so that we can go ahead and put this ignorance to rest, because really that's what it is. And I've talked about this over the years, and for me, it's starting to sound like a broken record. So I don't even want to, people to think that this is something I like, constantly talking about. People just think that I just love bringing up the same shit over and over and over again. No, what I would love is for you mofos to get it. Do your research. Take your asses back to school. Do something to acquire some type of knowledge before you guys enter into these debates and these conversations. And that would save me the headache, and it'll stop wasting a lot of my time, because honestly, I'm just repeating myself, because some of the stuff that I speak of today is 2022. I've been talking about this shit since 2012. So I don't know if some of you guys are slow. And I know, a lot of people are, in their own worlds, in their own bubbles, and it takes a while for a lot of you to catch up. So this is what I'm doing. I'm actually doing you guys a service and a courtesy by just catching you up to speed, because these are conversations that, you know, a lot of grown people, we're not even having this conversation. I don't have this conversation in my real life with the adults that I hang around. We ain't talking about this shit. We done mastered this. We've learned this. We understand. We know. But for those of you who don't know, this is who this live is for. Okay, it's not for people who've gotten it already. Let me share this live really quick. So you guys give me just a minute. Let me go ahead and share this live so that a few of you can come on in here. So you guys give me just a minute. Let me go ahead and share this live so that come on in here. So you guys give me just a minute. Let me go ahead and share this live so that okay. Sorry about the feedback, y'all. I had my phone too close to the mic. Okay, so let me do one other thing. I gotta tag a few people, okay? So you guys give me a minute. Oh shoot, what am I doing? Y'all, I'm doing some other stuff. Let's see. All right, so moving along, so because I want to go ahead and get it over with, because this is, I started this really, really late, and I don't want to be on too long. So I always used to hear athletes, and I still hear men, complain, not to this day, about women getting pregnant, and men do not like to take responsibility for conception, and that seems to always, make me look at them with the side eye, because I never could understand why were men blaming women for getting pregnant. And I always used to think, we can't get ourselves pregnant. You got us pregnant. Like, if it wasn't for your sperm, our egg would have never been fertilized, right? So this is what this podcast is about tonight. It is actually teaching you the anatomy of a male and a female, because obviously you guys don't understand the purpose of your own penis. Like, you guys have a penis, you like to use your penis, but you don't understand what the damn penis does. You know, this is your shit. This your penis. This is attached to your two nut sacks. And y'all don't even know what the nut sack is for. All y'all think is the penis is supposed to be sucked and the nut's supposed to be sucked and rubbed or whatever. But you do know that these things that are attached to you have a significant purpose. And I honestly don't think that a lot of you men understand. So I'm going to break it down for you guys without really getting into all the, you know, the technical of it. Or, you know, I'm not going to, you know, sit here and act like I'm a scholar. I'm just going to break it down to you in Ebonics the best way that I know how. So, yeah, the penis is used for pleasure. Okay. That's the whole purpose of God creating the whole pleasure part of it. You know, while we are, you know, making these babies, doing our part so that these babies can be conceived. You know, God decided, let me allow you guys to enjoy it. You know, because He could have made it painful. You know, it could have gone both ways. Just like childbirth didn't have to be painful. God could have just made that simple and easy. A woman didn't have to have labor pains, but that's just something that God decided to do. So He decided that, you know, while women are giving birth, we're going to go through contractions and we're going to have these labor pains to where it's going to feel like we are dying. And then He decided, you know, I'm going to allow the conception of the child to be a little more pleasurable. And this is where you come in with the orgasms and going to ecstasy and, you know, it just feels really good to have sex, right? But sex goes to a whole nother level. Okay. It goes far and beyond just the pleasure of things. So now we are stepping into the possibility of conceiving a child, meaning making a baby. So God placed the woman here to be the carrier of the child. Okay. Now you guys need to take some notes. You get your pen and your paper, you write this shit down because I don't want to have to repeat myself. So the women are the carriers. We carry the egg. And for those of you who don't quite understand what the menstrual cycle, what the purpose of that is, why do we bleed every month? Okay, we're not just bleeding just to be bleeding. God don't just give us a lot of blood and He decides once a month He's going to allow us to drain that blood because our blood cup is getting full. No. A menstrual cycle is a process of cleaning the lining, the lining of the woman's uterus. That is what the blood is, basically washing away an egg. The egg that comes down once a month that does not get fertilized. That egg sticks to that woman's uterine wall. And in order for that egg to be washed away and comes out of that woman, God allowed the menstrual cycle. So that's what that process does. It's basically cleansing the body on the inside. It's cleansing the uterus, okay? Because that egg did not get fertilized, meaning maybe some of your sperms were just too high on weed. You know, maybe you smoked too many cigars that weekend and your sperm didn't make it to the egg on time. All right? They died off by the time it got there. And honestly, it takes a while for a sperm to get to an egg. I think it takes somewhere along the lines of 2 to 3 days. And this is where the misconception with men come in when I see a lot of men arguing with the women talking about we had sex on Friday. How you got pregnant on Sunday? Because it takes sometimes 2 to 3 days for a sperm and a few hours for a sperm to reach the egg. So although you shot off, you ejaculated, you did what you did, and you got up and you left. Now here it is Saturday. That happened Friday night. Here it is Saturday, and the sperm finally hit the egg. It finally reached that egg on Saturday night. You had sex with her Friday night. The sperm finally reached the egg Saturday night, and this is why a lot of you be thinking, "Oh, that ain't my baby. I had sex with you Friday." Your calendar says you conceived dating back. It says a Saturday. Negro, that's still your baby. Okay? This is why you have to count back. And this is why it's very important for women to know who they slept with. And this is why I also tell women do not sleep with the same man within the same period, within a 24 to 48 hour window. Don't do that. Because that's what's gonna make it harder for you to decide to figure out who is your baby daddy. Which sperm got to my egg first? See, y'all be doing too much, ladies. You're doing too much. You had a man on Friday. Now you back sleeping with another man 12 hours later, or you sleeping with a different man Sunday, and now everybody's sperm heading to your egg, and you don't know which man's sperm got there first. You don't know. It's a rat race. The sperm racing against each other. They're trying to figure out who the poop out to get to this egg. And then once one of them, penetrates your egg, you don't know whose sperm it is. That's not something you're going to know. You're not going to know that until you find out that you're pregnant and the doctor tells you your due date. And then from your due date, that's when you have to start counting back to kind of figure out, dang, well, my due date is this. Now you got to count back 4 weeks, however many weeks you are, back to that date and kind of determine which guy it could possibly be. All right. But anyways, getting back to who is really responsible. Let's talk about that. All right. We're not talking about both adults taking the responsibility of the act of sex. And a lot of people misunderstand me when I argue this. I'm not talking about the act of sex. Yes, it is both adults' responsibility. You both people are responsible for engaging in that act of having sex. Yes, the lady decided to do it. The man decided to do it. It was consensual. Both adults wanted to do it. I'm going to focus on just one area of holding one particular individual responsible, and that individual will always be the male. A male is ultimately number one, uno, in control of whether or not a woman becomes pregnant. Okay, you guys can argue all day, every day about she's just equally responsible, and that is absolutely true from another perspective and aspect of this situation. We're not tapping into what she is responsible for right now. I am addressing who is the responsible party, who makes the baby. That's what I want you guys to understand. Once you understand that it is you that make the baby, and if you are responsible enough, then you will also understand that it is you that determines whether or not this woman is going to become pregnant during this consensual act of sex. Okay, y'all following me? Or do you get it? The man is responsible because the man makes the baby. The woman only carries the baby. Okay, the egg is with the woman, the sperm is with the man. Without the man's sperm, a baby cannot be made. All right. So when I hear men say, oh, you wanted to get pregnant. No, nigga, you wanted to get her pregnant because you are the one that shot off your sperm inside of her. If you didn't want a baby, you should have pulled out or you should have put on a condom. It is your fault. Say, if you want to point the finger, I'm going to point the finger at you. Ultimately, it's your fault. Okay. If we're going to play this blame game, let's play the blame game. So now it's your fault. All right. Let's just get that out. Let's just get that out right now. It is the male's fault. It is the male who got the woman pregnant. And I'm not going to keep repeating myself on that. Now, let's jump into holding the woman responsible for her act, okay, in engaging in consensual sex with a male that she knew was irresponsible. See, now that's when we can tap into now holding her responsible for her role and choosing to engage in this act with a man and allowing him to come in her. Because at some point, ladies, and I have said this before, at some point when you see a pattern, when you see a man and he has a pattern and he is, showing you that he is a deadbeat, he's not taking care of the kids he got, he gets ghosts, you're seeing the type of person that this man is. It's okay to want to sleep with him. You might have heard he got that good, or whatever the case may be. He looked good, whatever. But you also know that he's no good. He is not the best candidate to father your child. So you knew that from the very beginning, and you decided that you was gonna be just as irresponsible as he is, because see, he's being irresponsible, number one, because he keeps coming in women and he knows that he can't take care of the child. So we already know he's irresponsible. You okay? Forget about him doing the right thing. You can't depend on him no more. He's not going to do the right thing. That's obvious. So now that's when you have to come in and you have to be responsible enough to protect not only yourself, but to protect both of you guys from making that baby. Okay? Because again, even though I said the male is ultimately in control of making the baby, you do have a role in that baby being made. So he can't make the baby by himself. He makes the baby, okay? He's the one that makes the baby, but he can't make it by himself. So it does take you being there in order for the child to be conceived. So at this point now, you have to hold yourself accountable for laying there and allowing him to ejaculate in you and get you pregnant while you were ovulating, or whatever the case may be. You may be fertile. So now you have to hold yourself responsible and hold yourself to a level of accountability in that area. So although you are hearing me say that the male makes the babies, yes, he does. He does. But you cannot not blame yourself for why you are now pregnant by a man that you know does not take care of his children. Because like I said, you have to understand that at some point you got to protect yourself. And how do you protect yourself? You get on birth control. If you know he doesn't like to wear condoms, you might not even like condoms. So that's when you have to get on birth control, because he's not going to go down there and have himself neutered. He's not going to get on birth control. He's not going to stop himself from having children. Men are not going to the doctors. They don't even like going to the doctors. So if he's not going to do it, it's irresponsible of you to continue to trust that he's going to do the right thing when you know he's not. And that's the part where you hear men saying at some point women need to take responsibilities and why they keep having these babies by these men. That's what those men are talking about. That's what they're saying to you. Like, you're going to just keep blaming this dude. So for every baby you got with a no good man, you're going to continue to point the finger at the man and say it's the man's fault. So they're basically holding you to a level of accountability, and they have a right to, because at this point, yes, you are accountable for it now, because that's just stupid now. You're just being dumb. Why would you do that? Why would you lay down and have a baby with a man that you see his other baby mama on Facebook raising hell that he don't even come visit his child? You think you different? You think he's going to treat you different? He'll treat you different while he's with you, while he's benefiting from you. But rest assured, if you and him were to get on bad terms, you're going to be in the same situation as the first baby mama. Believe you me, I'm going through that now. I had to learn that the hard way. Okay? So you guys have to really start doing some character evaluations when it comes to men. Start focusing on their character. What type of person is he? Watch how he handles his sisters. Watch how he handles his mother. Watch how he interacts with his present children, with his current children. And this is how you can avoid yourself from getting yourself caught up with conceiving a child with a man who is no good, and you'll save yourself years of heartache and headache. So again, yes, ladies, although I have stated several times that a man ultimately makes a baby, yes, at some point you have to hold yourself responsible. Like I personally, and this is just my own personal preference, I don't want to really date a guy who has a lot of kids, especially if he's not being responsible enough to take the time to be in all his children's life. Like, I don't want to sleep with a guy who's not taking care of his children. I don't even want to deal with a guy who's going through baby mama issues right now. Like, that to me is just baggage. Like, you have to sort that shit out first. See, that's what we call baggage. So a lot of you choose to get with these men who have baggage, and then you want to complain about it when you got to help carry this baggage. It's not your baggage to carry, but you chose to carry it with him when you allowed him to come into your life, knowing that he had open cases with all his previous baby mamas. That's like these women that get pregnant by Future. I would never understand who wants to have a baby with Future. Who wants to be involved with Future? Future has a horrible reputation of being a deadbeat dad. Out of all the money he has, he still seems not to want to be a part of his children's life. So why would you choose Future to be the one to try to trap when you know he ain't the celebrity to try to trap? You're trapping the wrong one. You're trying to trap a deadbeat. You're trapping yourself. Those women didn't trap Future. They trapped themselves, because now look what they're going through. They got to come out of pocket to get lawyers to try to get this man to give their babies their due diligence. That's crazy. So for every woman that I have seen complaining about Future's baby's moms, I don't feel sorry for them. Girl, that was you. That was your stupidity. Why would you do that? I mean, it ain't like you didn't know. You know what type of man he is. And this is the accountability that, some men are just simply trying to get you women to hold yourself to. That's all. It's not that they're being negative towards you. Don't take offense of it. When a man says, look, you equally responsible for the deadbeat in your life, 9 times out of 10, you are. There are rare cases, and I have argued this point as well. There are rare cases, and there are a few out there where a woman did not know. Okay, she did not know, because honestly, men or women are not walking around with stamps on their forehead saying I'm a deadbeat. Women are not walking around with stamps on their forehead saying I'm toxic. That's just not what people do. People come into your life and people pretend to be who they think you want them to be, just so that you can get comfortable enough for them to slide in. And then once they're in, once they feel like they've gotten into your heart and they know you got all these feelings for them, that's when they really start to reveal their true colors, because now they feel like you ain't going nowhere. Now I got her. So now they're going to start acting a donkey on your ass, and you're going to be looking like, what the fuck? This is not who I met. Who are you? So there are rare cases where you don't know. Again, I'm one of those rare cases. My ex-husband really didn't give me too many signs that he was going to be a deadbeat father, because this is a man that I lived with who was a provider. He was taking care of me. He was giving me his checks every week. He was putting money in my hands to pay bills. He was a provider. He was doing what a husband was supposed to do. So no, I had no clue that I was going to be in a position with this man one day in regards to trying to get him to step up and help me support our children, because from the man that I met was a provider. So ultimately, if you get a man and he is providing for you, yeah, you're going to say, oh, he's going to be an awesome dad. This man pays bills. He gives me what I want. I know he's going to take care of his children. So again, no, women do not know. So stop saying that shit, because no, we don't. Just like you didn't know her ass was toxic. Just like you didn't know, she had a freaking online buying fetish. You didn't know half the stuff that you done found out about the woman that you let into your life. So how you gonna tell us that we knew that this man was a deadbeat? Get the fuck out of here. No, we don't. People don't know who people are. It's people living together right now and still don't know who the hell their mate is. It's people that I know have lived together over 20, 30 years and still do not know who they are living with. Because people will hide who they are for years. For years. Let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I met an old white woman. I forgot where I was at. I think I was in Ocala somewhere. And we got to talking. I don't know where I was. We were killing time somewhere. But it was an old white woman. She had been with her husband. They had been together for like 70, 80 years. I mean, they were some old people. And I think, matter of fact, this was when I might have been married myself. And I think, this is when I kind of was going, heading into the rough patches with my husband at the time. And I just remember talking to this white lady, and I was looking at them, and, they were sitting where I was at. I don't know if we were at the doctor's office or where we were at. And we just got to talking, and she was telling me, giving me some tips on how to, successfully have a long, strong marriage. And she was telling me about how you would never know your spouse. And I remember asking her, what do you mean by that? She was like, you're never going to know your spouse. It takes years to know your spouse. She said, there are things that I've been living with this man for almost 70 years. And there are things about him that I never knew. And I questioned, what does she mean? She said, for almost 50 years of my marriage to this man, I never knew he wore dentures. He never took them out around me. He never he brushed his teeth in front of me, but I never saw him remove his denture. He never had a denture cup. I never seen him cleaning them, washing them, or nothing. It wasn't until years later that she literally found out that her husband had false teeth. And I knew that to be true because in my marriage, I'm gonna tell you a story. I had been with my husband at that time for maybe about 8 years, right? We were like 8 years into the marriage. And I remember we were sitting in the living room one night watching a movie. And I had stopped by the store on my way home. And I don't know if I was leaving my mom's house, my friend's house, or whatever. But on my way home, I had stopped to the corner store and got me some snacks. You know, we like to drink our snacks, chips, whatever we eat when we watch our favorite movie. And I had bought me some pistachios, right? I always ate pistachios. And now, mind you, I have been with my husband at the time for about 8 years, and I've always eaten these nuts. Do you know, we were sitting there and watching a movie, and this man literally looked over at me, and he said, when did you start eating those? And I looked at him, and I said, what? I said, what are you talking about? He said, who got you eating those? Who started you eating those? I said, I've been eating pistachios ever since the day I met you. Pistachios, sunflower seeds. These are the nuts that I've been eating since we've been together. I have literally sat with you before and have eaten these same nuts. And this man argued me down saying I never ate those. That was the first time he has ever seen me eat those. So you see how it doesn't matter how long you are with somebody. It takes a while for your own spouse to pay attention to you. Some things just you don't pay attention to it right away. That's just like commercials that we see. Why do you think these corporate companies run these commercials over and over and over and over again? Because they know that there's going to be something that you are going to miss when they run the ad the first time. Even when they run it the second time, the third time, you're not going to get it. It may take them running that ad 50 times before you actually pay attention to the fact that they're offering what they are offering. And after 50 times of seeing that commercial, you finally decided to call them to utilize the service because this is the first time you've seen the commercial, even though it is not the first time you've seen the commercial. The commercial had been ran during the show that you have been watching. They might have ran the commercial 3-4 times during your favorite television show when they go to commercial break. So this is why I always tell people it takes a lifetime to get to know people. So when I hear people say you knew, no, you don't know. No, some people really do not know. I'm telling you, the mind does not work like that. And I'm going to tell you how the mind operates, and I'm going to get off my live. Have you guys ever been in a situation, this happens to me a lot, where you are literally looking for something? Like you could be looking for your phone, right? Your phone can be in your hand. You could be on your phone, but in your mind, you looking for your phone, and you realize, damn, I'm on the phone. You see how your mind play tricks on you? So stop telling people that they knew somebody was this way or they knew somebody was that way, because no, it doesn't work like that. A lot of times when women are mesmerized by a man, infatuated by somebody, they don't even see half the shit that they were supposed to see. Love is blind, remember? Lust is blind. You don't start noticing shit about a person until after the lust, the infatuation begins to fade. That's when you start noticing, damn, I didn't know you had a birthmark on your inner thigh. As many times you have taken this woman's clothes off, you never noticed she had a birthmark on the inner thigh of her leg. And you don't open them legs over the years. How many times? The mind will play tricks on you. And when a woman meets a man, she don't see those things. When you meet a woman, you don't see those things. All you see is a fat ass, perky titties, slim waist, pretty face, and putting her on her back. You ain't looking at the fact that this bitch is crazy. This bitch gonna bust my tires one day. I could see her throwing a brick through my window. Do you see that in a woman when you first see her? Do you see a woman being a psycho when you first meet her? No. So how you gonna tell us that we knew our baby daddies that wasn't shit when we met them? When you don't even know this goddamn lady crazy when you met her? No, it took a minute for half the shit that she taking you through to come out. So it happens over time. But anyways, I just want you guys to, yes, at a certain age, especially when you in your late 30s, listen, just start holding yourself accountable for some shit. It don't matter. It's okay to say, yeah, I was wrong. Yeah, I was wrong. I wasn't right. Okay, this time I wasn't right. And I think that's the problem. I don't really think it's an argument of you guys really believing the shit that y'all believe. I think a lot of you just do refuse to accept that you are wrong or that you are accountable. See, I got comfortable with holding myself accountable a long time ago. So that's why I've created a habit. So it's easy for me to say when somebody step on my toe or somebody pointing a finger at me or somebody tell me that I'm wrong. If I sit back and I think about it and I'm wrong, I say, oh yeah, I was wrong. Oh yeah, I didn't get that one right. And once you get in the habit of holding yourself accountable, it becomes not so uncomfortable, because accountability is it's a very uncomfortable space, especially if you're not used to doing it. If you're not used to holding yourself accountable and you are used to just pointing the finger at somebody, it is going to be very uncomfortable for you to get to a point where you are going to start pointing the finger back at you. That is a feeling that nobody likes. It's an uncomfortable feeling, but it's because it's something we never did before. But they say you got to get out your comfort zone in order for you to be truly free, in order for you to really elevate in life. So if you don't get out your comfort zone, you're going to stay where you are, stagnant, thinking the same way, doing the same thing, making the same mistakes. So get out your comfort zone. Sit back and think about some shit and think about what your homeboy said. Think about what your sister said. If she said, if somebody say, look, this is what you be doing, you need to change your ways, man. I'm telling you, this is what you be doing. Don't argue with them and tell them that's not who you are. Sit back and really think about it. Am I like this? Do I be doing this? And start replaying some shit back in your head, and then be bold enough, courageous enough, and grown enough to say, yeah, shit, I need to change. Yeah, my mindset is fucked up. It's not hard. And I promise you it's going to better your life. I promise you, you're going to find yourself on a whole nother wave in life, and you're going to be more accomplished. All good things going to start happening to you. But until you start taking responsibilities for your role in the bullshit, the drama, the noise, and all of that, you're going to just find yourself in the same place. And you do have to hold yourself accountable, because it's not always that other person's fault. And I don't even want to get too deep into breaking it down. I wanted to just touch briefly on who is really responsible in making a baby, and really touch on providing women with, I don't know what word I want to use. Basically, holding women, to their responsibility. That's pretty much what I wanted to do. I want to try to kill two birds with one stone, and just let you guys know, at a certain level of being an adult, start doing adult shit. Stop pointing the finger, stop blaming people for the shit that you get yourself into, and start saying, look, I shouldn't, if I would have made the right choice, I wouldn't be in this situation. That's called accountability. All right. So you guys make sure you keep it locked. Also, I was hearing rumors that Facebook is going to be getting rid of all their podcasts. So if you do have a podcast on Facebook right now and you do not want to lose that footage, I would advise you to download that video using a Facebook downloader app, so that you can always have always have those videos in your archive. Start transitioning back to YouTube. Download your videos off of Facebook. Download them to your phone, Dropbox, Google Drive, and then transport them over back to YouTube, because I had been hearing for a long time, since last year, that Facebook was going to be, doing away with their podcast. And then someone just sent me something tonight stating that it is official. I think around July the 3rd or in July, Facebook is going to be taking down all of its podcasts. So nobody will be podcasting on Facebook anymore. They're not going to allow you to do it, and all of your videos will be lost. So You have to start downloading your podcast right now, all right? And you guys can always follow us officially on the WMRR radio website, and we will still be on YouTube. I will always chop up the videos and put them on Instagram, and we also are on TikTok right now, okay? But in regards to Facebook, guys, WMR radio will be no longer going live on Facebook come July, especially if Facebook officially, does what it says it's going to do. So you guys make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's where we will be podcasting from now on. Probably we'll go and get on some of the podcast apps like Spreaker, or some of the podcast app. I'll be looking into hosting our shows on those platforms. Okay. But I'll keep you guys posted and up to date. And always thank you guys so much for tuning into my podcast. I love doing what I do. I love talking my shit. And you guys just make sure you always share my lives. Okay. All right. Love you guys. Good night.